Goeienaand, good evening fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. I'm going to start this video by showing you three charts which kind of sum up the situation in South Africa today. The first one is showing how much the government is spending compared to how much tax revenue it's actually getting in. And you'll see that there's a shortfall of something like 25 billion rand per month in the coffers. There's no way they can continue like that. This is why South Africa is basically bankrupt. You'll see the chart in a second. And the second chart is showing the number of unemployed people in South Africa. And you can see that that's increasing dramatically. And it's much higher than the official figures given out by the government, which are obviously BS, quite honestly. And the third chart is the amount of public debt, that's government debt as a percentage of GDP. And it's climbing almost like that. Clearly, South Africa can't continue along the road it's going at the moment. And this is the ANC government in action. What's going to happen as a result of this? Well, it's been suggested next week there's going to be additional taxes brought out, which is going to help raise revenue after they've chased all the people who have got money out of the country, which is why the tax base has just gone. An extra one-off tax on income for individuals and companies and another VAT hike are on the cards when South Africa's do or die 2020-2021 budget is delivered next Wednesday, says Old Mutual Investment Group chief economist Johan Els. While VAT was increased to 15% in February 2018 and then left untouched last year, Els said that another VAT increase cannot be ruled out in the face of mounting pressure to address the widening deficit and climbing debt to GDP ratio. Okay, now let's have a look at those three charts. As you can see, things aren't right in South Africa. In fact, they're really pear-shaped. The budget deficit climbed to 6% of GDP last year, with extra spending on Eskom adding to the public purse that's already stretched. Els cautioned, Treasury has not been able to rein in the budget deficits over the last few years, so it is now really now or never. We are on the verge of a Moodys rating downgrade, and if we don't stabilize the deficit and get spending under control, they will downgrade us. Well, I think that's a foregone conclusion now. The rand is actually now worth less than 15 rand to the US dollar. The value of the rand is just going down, 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 down. South Africa is reeling from 5 consecutive years of less than 1% average GDP growth, which has harmed the deficit and the debt burden, Old Mutual Investment Group said. Els, who pointed out that South Africa needs annual economic growth of at least 2.5 to 3% to stabilize the debt ratio and prevent a debt trap, said, "We pay more than 200 billion rand a year on interest payments alone." That's a huge amount of money, which is more than the annual budgets of health, education, and police services. Can you believe it? Debt to GDP ratio has shot up from 26% in 2009 to 60%, and this is making it difficult to service debt, with interest on debt already 11% of total expenditure, the economist said. While there will be an attempt to reduce additional spending, cutting back on the wage bill would be advantageous. However, not likely, according to the investment arm of the Financial Services Group. Els said, "This will be difficult to pull off politically and would need to be negotiated with unions, but potentially it could be a big game changer. Just limiting wage bill growth to 4% would save 100 billion rand. While the intention in the budget must be on the spending side, I am doubtful the finance minister will be able to do enough. As a result, The Economist expects a Moody's credit rating downgrade in March 2020. So you've basically got, let's see, less than 10 days before Moody's make a decision on whether they're going to take the rand to junk. That's why you've got to get, if you've got a lot of money in rands, you've got to really seriously look at putting it into another currency or into physical gold or physical silver. Anyway, else said, there will be some attempt to correct the budget, but it won't be enough to satisfy Moody's. So my base case is a rating downgrade by Moody's at the end of March. Else said that consumers and investors need not panic, as a downgrade has largely already been priced into the market. However, consumers need to brace for potential additional taxes on top of the usual suspects, like no relief for fiscal drag and extra sin and fuel levy taxes. Else warned that a transition levy, like we had in the mid-90s, which is an extra levy on income tax for individuals and companies, could also be on the cards. He went on to say, expect the government to look for any possible means to increase revenue, but it's going to be a very tough balancing act, and this budget is definitely going to be one of the toughest yet in democratic South Africa. However, we're out of time. Some critical decisions will need to be made. The Reserve Bank notes that to finance transitional costs incurred during the 1993 and 1994 transitional process to democracy, a one-off transitional levy was charged during the 1995 year of assessment. This levy was calculated as a certain percentage of taxable income in excess of 50,000 rand before set-off of any balance or assessed loss being brought forward. Described as a one-off wealth tax of 5%, the transitional levy was applied and calculated as follows, and this could be the route that the ANC are going to take. Married and unmarried persons 3.33% of taxable income exceeding 50,000 rand. Taxable income excludes certain retirement benefits. Married women 3.33% of taxable income exceeding 175,000 rand. Taxable income excludes certain retirement benefits. Companies, including close corporations, 5% of taxable income exceeding 50,000 rand. And then trusts and estates, taxable as unmarried persons, 3.33% of taxable income exceeding 50,000 rand. According to the UK Independent, when Finance Minister Derek Kayes said the revenue of about 3.3 billion rand generated by the transition levy would go towards a 4 billion rand cost of running, among other things, the country's first democratic elections. So, that's the state of play, guys. You see in the charts, not looking good, especially that unemployment figure. When people are unemployed, yeah, you can see what's happening with the crime rate. It's a clear correlation there. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video. Please share this video. And above all, please stay safe.